In this video, I'm going to tell you about a US visa which is going to let you live and work in the US and eventually get a green card. This is the O1 visa. Honestly, there is so much mystery around the O1 visa and most people think it's out of their reach. But the reality is quite different. O1 is actually quite achievable given you have the right strategy. So, to give you all the details on the O1 visa, I have with me a subject matter expert. He's going to simplify this process for you and tell you whether you qualify for the O1 or not, what are the exact steps you need to take to apply for the O1 visa, and what are the timelines and the costs associated with it. So, let me move to my desk and take you along this conversation. Spoiler alert, there is a special coupon code waiting for you right at the end of the video, so keep your eye on it. Alex, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting. We'll be happy to discuss all the questions related to American visas.
So Alex is the co-founder of Relogate, and Relogate is a visa consulting company which helps professionals move to countries like US, UK, and France under the talent visa programs. And for US particularly, they help with O1, EB1, and EB2 NIW. Please tell us a little bit more about O1 visa and how someone knows if they qualify for it or not.
Yeah, the O1 visa is, I think, the most popular because it's relatively easy to obtain. And so there are two categories of O1 visa. It's O1A and O1B. The first category is O1A, and it's mainly focused on people with the experience in science, business, athletics, education. And O1B is mostly focused on people who work in art and television motion picture. So we are talking about O1A, and to get this visa, you actually need to meet several criteria, 3 as a minimum, of 8. And these criteria, they normally cover all the activities related to your professional status and to your work experience. So the first one criteria is that you need to prove that you've been employed in a critical or essential role in a company with some media coverage, the company that is known in its field of activity. It's the first criteria that you need to actually meet. The second criteria is the criteria that shows that you've been awarded or you got some prizes in the field of your professional activity, nationally or internationally, national or international rewards. So, for example, if you are working tech and you may be a winner of a national hackathon, so this award, well, actually, it gives you an opportunity to qualify for this criteria. The third one is the criteria of membership in a professional association. So this, well, you need to prove that you are a member of an association, and it's a membership which requires actually some achievements in your professional field, and you need to qualify for the conditions to be a member of this professional association.
So when you talk about member of an organization, that is something within your country itself, or does it have to be like an international?
Well, it can be. Well, it can be in a country of your residence, or it can be an international. For example, if you work in science, you may be a member of a National Academy of Sciences, or maybe an association of the people who work in the same field of in the same science. Well, in an international level. So this can be both national or international.
Got it. And the second criteria, when you say that you have to win an award, so
Yes.
I know a lot of professionals who would have won something within their company, right? And the company might be an MNC, or it might be like, nationally listed company.
Yeah.
Does that count?
No. So this is well, if you got an award for some competition within the company that you work in, it's not a criteria. Yeah. So you cannot use this award. It's more of a larger scale awards. Well, for example, as I told, for the tax specialists in National Hackathon, yeah, for others, well, this can be a competition, some prizes which needs well, a lot of people from different companies, from different countries,
Right.
So this is more of a larger scale awards and prizes.
Okay. Great. I think these three are pretty clear and we can move.
Yeah, or for example, well, startup pitch competition. For example, you won a startup pitch competition well, at a national level. So this helps you qualify for this criterion. Yeah.
Okay, that's good because in India we have a lot of tech
Yeah.
people. And, we have a lot of such startup, decks competitions going on. So that works.
Yes,
basically.
yes. Yes, of course.
Okay.
So then we are moving to the criteria which cover your media presence. And this means that you have some articles, for example, or publications about you, about your projects, about your work, and written by you as well. So it's the fourth and fifth criteria. This can be as tier 1 media, or like for example, you won startup competition and you were mentioned in the Forbes India. Well, that's great. Or this may be some publications in your professional field. So this can be online, or this may be offline. This may be like monthly or quarterly media. It doesn't matter. But there are two criteria which are about you. So you need to have some mention, some publication mentioning you. And the second one is that you wrote yourself. For example, for some professional in the field of professional publications.
Do you mean like papers you would have presented or written?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And well, we move to the next criterion, which is your significant contribution in the field of your professional activities. For example, you are an owner of a patent. This is, well, actually a very great thing to have. And if you manage to get a patent, so you are eligible for this criteria. Well, the last but not the least, and one of the criterion that is relatively hard to get, but anyway, this is the level of your salary, of your income. So if you are one of the highest paid professionals in your field, you can apply for this criteria as well.
So based on your income, you could.
Yeah. So yes, if your salary is the highest in the field, or top 5 or top 10% in the highest of the field. Oh yes, I forgot about one of the most important criteria is judging. So if you judge professionals in, well, for example, at a competition, and this is actually a criteria that you may also include into your petition for O1, whether it's an individual judging or on a panel. So these both qualify.
So again, the competition has to be a large scale national level where people.
Well, yes, but with the competition, it should include people from different companies, from well, like I told about startup pitch competition or so on. It cannot be a competition between professionals working in the same company. So it's like something in company. It doesn't qualify, but if it's a larger scale, yes. Even regional, for example, well, like in India, there are lots of states, and this can be not a nationwide award, prize, or competition, but this can be like, I don't know, Uttar Pradesh, well, and someone or some other states. Well, if you won a regional one, a state on a state level, so this is great.
Okay, so even regional state level can count.
Yes. Yeah.
The competition. Got it. Okay, so to quickly summarize, can you just list the 8 criteria for us quickly?
Yeah, well, the first one is your employment in a critical position in a company. The second one is, well, awards, victories in different competitions, the judging criteria, publications is the criteria 4 and 5, by you and about you, high level of salary, and what else? A significant contribution in the field of your activity. So these are and the membership in an association. So these are all the 8.
But the good thing is you don't need all 8. Right?
No, you need to actually. Well, the minimum requirements are 3 criteria to meet. But, well, the more you cover, the more chances you get. So, for example, you may have actually, well, 3, and you qualify for this visa, but, for example, your media coverage is not sufficient enough, and you may opt for boosting your media profile. Well, write several articles, well, have a blog, well, employ some journalists so that they, or PR agencies, so that they can help you boost your public profile. And this actually increases your chances of getting this visa, because the more criteria you meet, the better the chances are.
Got it. So minimum is 3, but one can try to aim and build their profile so that they can cover more criterias.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, and well, and I would like to once again focus on who can apply. So actually, the range of well, people and the fields of activities is quite extensive. It's, well, if you are professional in the field of education, well, business, well, not only startups, but any kind of business, yes, so that actually, well, is profitable, beneficial for the society, and so on. Athletics and sciences. So there are lots of different opportunities for people with absolutely different backgrounds. And I think, well, O1 visa is, well, it's one of the most popular because it gives people with different backgrounds these chances of moving to the United States and then starting their career there and establishing, well, new life, we can say so, yeah.
That's a really important point, because I know that the general perception people have about O1, at least in India, is that it's for tech. It's a tech visa.
No,
Because that's a very, I think, common misconception that it's for people with a tech background.
no, absolutely. Well, and the second one, O1B, is for people who work in arts. So this is for, I don't know, for artists, sculptors, musicians, well, and as well as motion picture and television. Well, there is Bollywood in India, and so there are lots of professionals and actually, well, highly ranked people in the television and cinema industry in India. And they all, well, they also have chances of obtaining this visa if they want to pursue new career opportunities in the United States, because it's a separate category, but it is especially designed for the arts, motion picture, cinema, television specialists and professionals.
Great. Okay. That gives a lot of clarity. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
I think the second point, which is on top of anybody's mind who's looking for an O1, is the timeline.
Yeah.
Because sort of in India, the US visa process is very elongated. We have to wait a lot for any type of slot.
Yeah.
So what's a timeline one can expect to get a O1 visa?
Well, yes, I should say that it's not an easy process and it's not really a very fast path. Well, it's not a fast track, but it's, well, the timing heavily depends on whether you opt for going on your own and preparing the case on your own, or whether you hire a visa consultancy and immigration attorney. So what's actually the difference between them? Well, all the information is available. All the guidelines are available. We are all connected to the internet. We all can use Google, and all the documents that the USCIS, well, in official authorities, they publish, they're all available on their websites. And moreover, there are, tons of information on YouTube, on different, channels and so on. Well, but the most important thing, that all these documents and all this information, it is enormous, in volume. And when you start preparing your case, you need to, at least read several thousand pages of different documents to understand how to prepare the letters of recommendation, how to provide evidence, what actually criteria you need to meet, and so on, and what they include in details. And normally it will take you about 8 to 12 months, almost full-time job to prepare your case. Because, for example,
8 to 12 months.
just to write all the letters, to personal statements, your projects, and so on. Because normally the standard O1 case, it's about between 6 and 900 pages.
Oh, wow.
All of the text written by somebody. So if you decide to do it yourself, you do it yourself, and it's a full-time job for more than half a year. If you opt for consultancy and for immigration attorney, then you can actually, well, spend between 3-4 months, depending on your cooperation with them. Because what they actually do, well, immigration attorney, he actually gives legal advice. He is authorized by the American authorities. He is licensed, and he knows how to prepare case. Well, he actually defines the strategy of case preparation. And then there are consultancies like, well, Relogate, for example. We do all the copywriting. So we write actually all these 500 pages of your case. We advise on several criteria that how to close them, how to meet the conditions of this criteria. And for example, if you want or if you need to meet other criteria that you don't qualify at the initial stage, there are other partners, for example, for public profile boosting. And you will have additional publications, articles, and you close this criteria, judging criteria, and all the other as well. So normally, it depends on whether you do it on your own. Well, be ready for about a year of preparation, or if you hire somebody and you ask for advice from immigration attorney or visa consultancy, both of them, it can last between 3 to 4 months, maximum maybe 5.
So you essentially shrink the timeline into half.
Yes, yeah.
By getting help for it.
Yeah.
Got it. And you would be helped with initial assessment plus the actual
Yes.
writing.
Well, actually, the procedure is like this. Well, the first, there is an initial scoring of your eligibility. So we just go through the criteria, and we decide which you can meet. This is the initial stage, which includes consultation with immigration attorney, because it's actually the immigration attorney who can give this legal immigration advice. And after that, if the eligibility is great and you have high chances, then immigration attorney and us, we start the process of your case preparation.
Got it. And if not, then you'd also advise on what can be done.
Yes, of course. Well, sometimes you need to spend some time on
preparing your profile.
Yes, on boosting your professional achievements, and we can advise on this as well. For example, if for the moment you are not eligible for all the criteria that you need to meet, but you have your career path, you understand what you need to do. Well, you become a member of an association, you start publications. Maybe you choose and look for opportunities for judging on a panel, for example, for some hackathon or competition and so on. And within half a year or a year, you are ready to apply, and it will be much easier to prepare your case with higher probability of getting a visa.
That's great, because I think if you don't qualify, you need really specific inputs.
Yes, of course. Yeah, actually, the path to American visa, O1 or EB, it's like a career path, because you are somewhere here in point B, and you need to get from point A to point B. Well, there are some stages that you need to move on and then get the result that you want. That's really well put. It's like an obstacle path. You have to yes. all that and reach. Yeah, we can look at them as obstacles, but I look at them as opportunities. So that's opportunities. Yeah, you need just to open some new opportunities, and that's it. Great. It's really great. So if somebody is in India, do they actually need a visa, go to US first to do this? Or can I, let's say I don't have any US visa. Yeah. As of now, can I still start this process from India? Yes, well, there are two opportunities. Well, the first one, if you are not in the United States, you actually need to apply at a local embassy or consulate. So in India, well, it will be in India if you're resident in India and you don't have any American visas. The second option is if you have for example, a tourist visa in the United States and you are actually now in the United States, you can apply for a change of status and you can apply for a visa from the territory of the United States. And so the two options are available, and that's also one of the great things about this visa, because while you apply for a tourist visa, it's you actually have no intention to stay in the United States long term. But if you arrived in the United States and you stay there 1 month, 2, 3, and after that you decide to change your status and to apply for a visa, it's absolutely legal. You just need to start this procedure within certain period of time so that you don't overstay your tourist visa before you apply for an O1. You start this procedure.
Got it. And if you apply from India, you actually have to face an interview with the visa officer.
Yes. You prepare your case, all the papers. After that, you apply at an embassy or consulate of the United States, and after that, you pass through an interview and you get a decision. Well, we always hope for the positive outcome.
Right, of course. What about previous refusals? Because I know that there are people in India who will have a refusal. It might be a student visa or might be a tourist visa itself.
Yeah.
So how do those refusals carry on?
Yeah, well, actually, if you had some previous rejections of an American visa, it actually should not influence, the possible outcome of your O1 visa application. Because, first of all, this O1 visa is a double intent visa. So it's a non-immigrant visa, but at the same time, we understand, and the immigration officers understand that, if you stay long term in the United States, you may eventually decide to stay permanently in the United States, and you actually have this opportunity. You just will need to change the status, change your visa, O1 for EB, for example, or some other under some other conditions. But probably there are chances of visa refusal if you previously have applied for immigration visa to the United States. This is can be a tricky and complicated path, because you actually, if you have earlier applied for an immigration visa, it means that you have this immigration intent. But any rejections in tourist visa they actually don't lead to automatic refusal in an O1 visa.
Got it. So a non-immigrant visa refusal wouldn't have much impact.
Absolutely.
But an immigrant petition, which has
it doesn't mean that you cannot apply, but it means that maybe your case will be viewed with more attention to detail, I would say so.
Just need better preparation if you have non-immigrant. Got it. So I think after O1, a really popular category is the EB1. And I was there's a lot of confusion about what is the difference between the two. So can you give us a quick breakdown of what's the difference?
Well, actually, the most important thing to understand is that O1 visa is a non-immigrant, and EB1 visa is an immigration visa. So it's actually a green card. What it means, and what are the differences in criteria? Well, actually, the both visas are quite similar. You need to meet mostly the same criteria as for the both visas. But to put it in a simple way, to qualify for O1, you have to be really good in your profession. To qualify for EB, you need to be the best, and that's the main difference. So for example, if you're a founder of a really interesting startup, if you raised money, if you have media coverage, publications, and so on. For example, you were mentioned in the Forbes 30 under 30. like this. Well, you can qualify for EB, well, right away. But if you are not at that stage, we normally, and well, not actually we, but our immigration attorneys, they advise to opt for O1 visa, which is easier to get. You have the time to settle in the United States, understand your work, well, start working, have all these opportunities of living permanently in the United States, bring your family with you. And after that, after you, well, you maybe move on and get to a higher level of professional recognition, professional results, achievements, and so on. And then you can choose to change your status from O1 to EB. That's actually the path that, well, many people take.
So one can bring their family as well, right? Because I think that would be an important
Oh,
criteria.
yes, yeah. Under O1 visa, you can bring your family, your spouse, well, doesn't have a work permit, but you can bring your spouse to live and your children as well.
Got it. And what's the duration of this visa generally?
Well, 3 years, and then you can, well, you can actually renew it. You can renew it forever, actually, if you have a job proposal, if you have an employer, and well, you can renew it, well, unlimited time.
Indefinitely?
Yeah,
Okay.
forever, yeah.
Got it. So now that we've understood the visa, we know like what's the process, everything. Another point is the cost, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it comes with the cost of applying, preparing, everything. So what's a budget somebody should have?
If you go with the immigration attorney and the consultancy, well, be ready to spend between $8,000 and $15,000 US dollars. Their final cost depends on any extra activities that you choose to get. For example, public profile boosting, membership and association, and so on. There are some costs. Well, for example, a premium processing when your case is processed within 15 days. Well, it costs around 3,000, well, 2,800 to be exact. But well,
that's
sorry?
That's the additional.
Yeah, it's for the premium processing. If you would like, when your case is ready, if you would like it to be processed within 15 days and not 6 months, well, you may have to pay, well, additional around 3,000 US dollars. Yeah, but the normal cost is between 8-15, and it includes all the services, well, immigration attorney and copywriting, and some extra activities if you decide to get them to meet the criteria, to meet the most of the criteria that you have.
So what's the range between 10 to 15,000? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So the minimum is 8, but if you decide, well, some extra activities and you hire a partner, well, from visa consultancy or your own, so this may be, yeah, about 15, the maximum.
Got it. All right. So how do I start the process? Like, I'm convinced I need the visa. What do I do now?
Yeah, well, the best thing is to, well, book a consultation. There is actually a form to be filled to know, well, what criteria, what eligibility criteria you meet. After that, book a consultation with an immigration attorney, where you can ask any questions and you will have an in-depth study of your case, how to proceed with the case, well, all the timings and so on, and if you need some extra activities or you don't. And after that, you decide. So you will have, well, the criteria that you need to meet and what you actually have at the stage of first consultation. You will have an immigration attorney advice, and you will have an idea of how much it actually will cost. And that's it.
Okay. And how does Relogate help in this? How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, we will will leave a link in the description. Yeah, you can book a consultation directly on our website or write an email. We'll have the email address in the description. And what we actually do, yeah, well, the first we do this first eligibility scoring. We will send you a form to fill in. After that, you can book a consultation through us with an immigration attorney which we work with. We have several of them, and we'll choose which best suits you. And then we'll proceed if you decide to go on to take on this journey to the American dream. So we'll sign a contract and we'll go and help you prepare your case at the best time possible.
Right. So we're going to leave links for all of this on the
Yes.
screen for the description. So I'm
Yes.
sure people would be interested in reaching out. We also have a special promo code, so I'll tell the details in a bit. Thank you so much for giving us that, so that people can reach out to you.
Yes, yes, we'll be happy to help everyone. And yes, this promo code is just a small gift, but I think it counts when we take into consideration all the costs and all the time that you need to spend on this. Yeah.
Great. Alex, this was really useful. I think you made O1 visa really clear and simple now for everyone. But before you go, can we get a quick pro and con?
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, so the pros of O1 visa are actually, well, there is an extensive range of professionals who can apply. The second one is that it's relatively easy to obtain. Relatively easy because, well, it's hard, but anyway, it's relatively easy. The third one, well, you have the work permit and you can bring your family, but unfortunately, your spouses, they cannot work in the United States, but you can bring them with you to live with you and your kids as well. And one of the, well, these are pros, yeah? So it's a first step to settling permanently in the United States, and it opens the opportunities for permanent residency if you eventually decide to change your status from O1 to EB. Well, cons are actually, well, that your members of your family cannot work. It's not an immigrant visa, so it's not a direct path to green card, and you need to have an employer in the United States. This can be a separate company, or you can establish your own company, with what we actually can help as well. But you need to have an employer.
Thank you so much for all the valuable inputs. I really hope more Indians apply for O1 this year.
Yeah.
Please do help them when they reach out to you and guide them.
Yeah, we'll be happy. Actually, it's our goal. We help people open the borders and open new opportunities, and we'll be happy to help your audience, your followers, and Indians to go to the United States. Well, absolutely, we'll be happy. Thank you for inviting me and having this great conversation.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.